Downhill skateboarding. It just became a thing within like the past 8 years. Like it became an actual sport and stuff, and people started putting money into the industry. Probably the first time that it really set in how great what I was doing was and how much I loved it was when we got to the mountain pass and everyone was about midway down the hill. We were all going probably roughly 50, 55 miles an hour, and I pulled up on my friend John, and then 4 other people pulled up on me, and it was the tightest packed group we've been at that speed. And being able to go that fast with that many of your friends around you within an arm's length, like everyone in full face helmets, it was just like surreal. I kind of realized how like crazy the culture of it was when we were up camping in New York for a race that we were about to do the next day. And I was sitting around the campfire, and a bunch of people in front of me had started laughing, and I was like, I don't get it, what's going on? And I felt something on the back of my shirt and looked behind me, and this dude was just peeing on me. Like peeing on me right at the campfire, and then I was like, oh, these are the kind of people I hang out with and compete with. When I tore my elbow open to the bone at this one spot we were at in Arnold, Maryland, it was like a steep drop down to the water, and it was 20% grade into a sharp left turn, and I came down the hill trying out a new prototype board that I've been given that I wasn't used to, and high-sided and was thrown back first down the hill. And I put my arm out to catch myself and completely missed, raked my elbow across the gravel, got up and asked if everything was okay, and my friend's like, you need to go to the hospital now. And I showed up in the hospital, couldn't even write down my personal information, had no clue what was going on. The rag I had was just so soaked in blood that like finally I just nodded off in that seat and then woke up in the hospital bed later. I'd lost like a considerable amount of blood throughout that process and just wasn't in a good state of mind. We were at this event in New Jersey at a steep little short drop of a hill with about like 500 people in attendance and then multiple riders from other companies. And as I was like finishing the day up and thinking that like we were just gonna return home and do the same thing in another few weeks, a guy came up to me and like grabbed my arm on the way out and was like, hey, my name's Sean Colvenbach from Original Skateboards. Like, I want you to come over here and talk to our company owner. And I was just like, oh yeah, for sure. Like, I love your guys' boards. I've ridden them in the past. And as I was talking to the company owner, this guy, Scott Imbre, he just had like a really positive attitude, like was a real go-getter, like explained to me his whole vision with the company instantly, so I was on the same page as him. And then after he told me the direction they wanted to go in, said, we'd like for you to join us in that movement and like help us push this forward. And I thought that was the biggest thing ever, just that someone was putting all their faith in me for me just wanting to go out there and enjoy myself. The last video part that I'd made for one of the companies I rode for, I ended up breaking my big toe during the process, and like your toes are really important in being able to control the board. Even after that having happened and providing them with this video, they explained to me that I had to compete in an upcoming event the next week, and I just kept telling them like, I won't be able to do anything for you guys. Like, I can't provide you with anything at this event. And my team manager said these words to me that I'll never forget, which was, it's been fun up until this point, but this is the kind of stuff you're gonna have to just man up and do. We were in San Diego at this hill that led down to a surf spot at the bottom, and it was a great scenic run, and we were all just there to have a good time. And I came down the hill, ended up sliding out in a turn, and normally when I crashed it was get back up, laugh it off, do it again, but I was just angry, like furious. And I hadn't been able to like make it work after that just because my thoughts were getting to my head and I was so enraged by it, and I couldn't figure out why I was so mad. Because normally it was just all fun and games, but my team manager was down at the bottom of the hill, and the rest of like the company filmer was around and the owner. Like, I just felt all that pressure weighing on my shoulders to perform, and it was really pissing me off to the point where like, just like, I'm done. I don't want to do this. Like, it's not fun anymore. It slowly more so became work, and that wasn't something it was ever supposed to be for me.